It is Nate Mumford, Director of Sales Engineering here at RCS, as I keep saying as always, but still quarantined here in Danbury, Connecticut. And I have, yes, slightly upgraded my home office here. I now have, ready for this? Yes, swivel technology. It's what I do after hours when I try to figure out what to do in quarantine. So welcome once again. As you know, we've been doing this weekly series, Q&A in the time of remote workflows. And what that means is essentially giving you an opportunity to ask your questions in regards to any RCS product. That could be for next gen, Zeta, Aquira2GO, Zeta Cloud, Zeta Cloud Disaster Recovery. We have Selector, we have Selector version 12 and 15. We have G Selector and Selector to Go and all of that good stuff. So if you have any questions in regards to workflows, let me know. I am here to answer those questions for you. Reminding you that we still have our Zeta Cloud-based disaster recovery deal going on. For as low as $99 per month, you can get RCS and Zeta Cloud-based disaster recovery. And we will throw in a free Zeta2GO license. And as you know, Zeta2GO works on essentially seats. So that can have an X number of users filling one seat. So really, really cool. Got your questions? Let us know. As always, we have our comment section there. Thank you to Di and Corey who are helping us out. I can see the comments are working. So if you do have any comments, feel free to chime in below. You can always email us live at rcsworks.com. And as always, we'll be doing this for the foreseeable future every Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And that's going to be right here on Facebook Live. As always, we archive these videos as well on our Facebook page under the video section and rcsworks.com. There's a blog tab at the top right. Go there. And if you're looking for some past videos that are archived, I like to search remote workflows, and then they're all right there. Boom, 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 boom. So if you have any questions, I know there's a lot of videos on there. We're trying to create this archive. If there's something in particular you want to ask, feel free to comment or direct message us, and you can say, hey, Nate, I'm looking to do Zeta2GO. I want to add audio via Zeta2GO. What would be the best video for me to watch? I can shoot you a link. It would be good to go. And so I can definitely point you in those right directions. But for today, I have here with the very, very talented Dawn Newberry, who is our Aquira Traffic Sales Engineer. And we thought, we did last week, we did G Selector with S3 scheduling, did some Zeta2GO stuff, some Zeta Cloud stuff. As always, I really highly encourage you to check out that video with Chip Jellison, our CTO, talking about kind of what brought us to Zeta Cloud and the future of cloud-based radio automation. Some cool videos there. But we thought we'd talk about some Aquira2GO. And this time we're joined by Dawn, and Dawn is going to go and show us kind of a tour around Aquira2GO and do some discussions on Aquira and Aquira2GO. So if you do have any questions regarding Aquira, let us know. Now is the time. I will help Dawn facilitate some questions, and we should go from there. So, but first, Dawn, let's talk about some Aquira2GO good stuff. So, as always, good morning, Meg. Thank you for checking in. As always, Aquira2GO is part of our line of RCS2GO products. That includes Zeta2GO and Selector2GO. And all of these, Dawn, are URLs. So you can see here, Dawn's using Chrome. I have just a Zoom meeting on Dawn's machine here. And again, not a download. We're not going to the App Store. We're not constantly updating things. This is going to be simply a URL with your Aquira2GO login information. You can sign in and usually need a VPN, right, for Aquira2GO too, right, Dawn? Yep. So I'll have you take over here. So we're talking about Aquira2GO with Dawn Newberry. Get your comments and questions in for Dawn regarding traffic or Aquira. And so what are we going to look at today, Dawn?
Excuse me. Good morning, Nate. I thought it would be a really good opportunity to just jump in and show some of the features that I think any user actually is going to be able to utilize to keep them connected to the station. Even if they're not physically present in the station, they'll still be able to log into Aquira2GO and get the information they need, whether it's in some kind of situation that we're in right now and everybody's remote, or if you're one of those people like myself and probably Nate, and you tend to work on vacation sometimes, but from wherever you are, you can log in and you can still stay connected to the station. And so I'll just kind of start showing some of those. I'm going to sign in, and let's say I'm a sales manager and I want to manage my sales team. Of course, I need to stay on top of what they're doing. Even though I'm not in the station, I want to know where we are at budget. I want to see our revenue numbers. I want to be able to see who's bringing in that revenue, who's not bringing in that revenue, things of that nature. So I might just, yeah.
When we have our first question here, how often is the inventory updated that the sales rep has available to sell?
It's constantly refreshed, like here in Aquira2GO, and I'll show one of those inventory reports. It's constantly refreshed in the system. So once contracts are approved, they automatically go into the contract area and they become live revenue and live inventory. So it's automatic pretty much. But here, if I log in as a sales manager, let's say I'm sitting at my kitchen table, it's first thing in the morning, I'm having a cup of coffee. Maybe I don't really want to start my day, but I just want to plan my day and see what I need to do. I can log in and I'm going to get this home screen. And this is really just a quick way to get a quick snapshot of what's happening. You get some cool graphs. You can maybe take a look at the recent client activity, who's had activity, the sales reps. You can see their names. You can see the information on those clients. I can see some recent proposals that have come in that maybe need my attention. I need to approve them. But this just lets me prepare for my day. And of course, you can go in and get into much more detail. But here I can just log in, even if it's a general manager, a sales rep, whoever it may be. And I've customized this for my own personal use on what I want to see maybe as soon as I log in. So there's something like this here, which is my revenue to budget. And as a sales manager, I just want to see who's at budget, what their budget is. And so you'll see it's very easily displayed here. And you can choose different ones that maybe you haven't marked as a favorite, but you can go back and forth to those reports. You can change the layout. Maybe you'd like to see it laid out this way or that way instead. So again,
Dawn, is this customized by user?
Yes.
So if we had in theory, Dawn Newberry is my sales manager, she can see a couple reports, whereas me, Nate, the sales guy, I could have a different kind of display here.
Yes, it's going to be based on the reports that are set up in the system, but then you can choose the ones that you want as a favorite. I've starred this one as a favorite, but if I uncheck it, that means that it's not going to be there each time that I come in. I might just see this report. But if I wanted to see maybe another one, just one off, I could click the little thumbs up and choose the options. You'll see down here, I have a lot of options in the traditional reports area. But for me, and based on my user access that's been set up for me, I'm either going to see maybe just my own information if I'm a salesperson. If I'm a sales manager, of course, I'll see who's on my team and so forth. So that dictates the information that you see. But down here as a sales manager, I like to see the weekly call activity. So I have this just come up straight away. I don't have to go in and run some kind of report or filter for anything. And really with no effort, I just get to see this straight away. And so I know that, okay, I see who's doing weekly calls. Maybe I'm going to have some one-on-ones with some salespeople later today. So I can just kind of view this first thing and see who's doing what. Here's something I think is really cool as a former traffic manager. In my database, I have it set up so that this missing copy report comes up. Missing copy, traffic is always trying to track down copy that's for the next day. So let's say as a salesperson, you have this come up straight away as soon as you log in. You don't have to go and ask traffic. You don't have to make a phone call or send an email or say, send me a report. It's just here. So I know what I need to go do for the next 7 days. I need to know what I have to go and bring in so that those spots are going to air. And again, this can be customized based on what you have marked as a favorite, if you don't want one of those all the time. and you can print those if you needed to print something. You can make it bigger to look at. You can download it. So it's just a really, really quick way to jump in and get an idea of what's going on.
Nice. And we're here with Dawn Newberry, who's our Aquira Sales Engineer at RCS, talking about Aquira2GO. If you got questions about Aquira traffic or Aquira2GO, feel free to comment below, and we'll answer those questions live in real time here as part of our Q&A and remote workflows. So Dawn was kind of just showing the main screen, talking about Aquira2GO, how you can kind of customize it. And by the way, I know I said very briefly earlier, but obviously this is going to be, as I said, just a URL. So if you do have a lot of salespeople on different platforms, it could be your iPad, it could be your Mac, it could be PC, it could be Chrome, Firefox, whatever it may be. Again, it's just a URL with your own login information that goes back to Aquira2GO. So it's very, very flexible. And again, we're talking about these remote workflows and giving you, resolutions here to working from home, things you can do using Aquira2GO. So Dawn, let's see here. We did the main display screen here. I know we have a past video that we talked about as a salesperson, things to kind of go in and track your day. What are we going to cover next?
Well, I thought I'd touch quickly on the dashboard. It's kind of just a more expanded version of that home screen. Has a lot more just cool looking, colorful graphs. I like it again just because it makes it so easy. You don't have to run anything. I can just take a look right here. I've marked these as my favorites. Sales manager, budgets. I can see right away, this is where we are at budget with this cool little graph. I can look and see if I'm a salesperson or whoever I may have access to, their weekly calls. And over here on budgets, you'll see that this is the budget as of this time that I'm in the system. If the day moves forward and I have a lot of activity, I can access this at any time and get that real number. So that's really, really useful. Here's the calls. I can see how many calls my salespeople have scheduled this week. Down here lets me see how many actual in-person meetings they have. I can jump into a graph like this and see that in my database, I really don't have a lot of clients that have been put in as leads, have a small amount that are prospects. So that lets me know really quickly as a sales manager that my guys are not really out there prospecting too much. And so maybe I need to focus on that, when I'm going to plan my day and my calls and so forth. Here again is a really cool look at my budgets for different salespeople, different months, again, based on what you've customized to be set as available in here and what are your favorites. And here's the legend over here. So you can see based on how many people you have. This is actually my budget. And this is where I am in my monthly forecasted budget. And then this is the gross amount that I have. So that's really kind of cool. But then down here, you also see it in this information. You can see the cool, colorful graph, but you also get to see just the information itself on the actual budget they have, where they are, and so forth.
And I noticed there at the top right there, is that an export to Excel icon up there, I see?
Here, yes. You can use these.
So if you are one of those users who needs to, let's just say, I mean, we're all doing remote workflows, right? So let's just say you're, I don't know, at a different house and your laptop is at home or whatever it is. You can jump on Aquira2GO, and then you can go and grab that Excel spreadsheet from wherever you are. So again, some helpful tools there if you're an Excel spreadsheet person.
And down here, this is a really useful tool as well. Again, it's just going to be available in the dashboard. It's a quick view. I have this one set as the inventory. So if you're a salesperson or again, a sales manager, you need to know what you've got available and when. This lets you look at it. You can check that to just make it more available to you. But I can jump in here if I'm a salesperson and I'm about to make a sales call. I can simply look in here and make sure before I make that call that I have the inventory. And you'll see on this report, I've got the total time. Here's the days over here. This is in my midday. I've only got 3 minutes booked, so I have a lot of time left here. It starts not quite as open.
Mhm.
So, and also as a sales manager, I can look at this and see maybe if I need to start looking at increasing rates or put in some packages, so forth. But again, just really convenient to jump in here and see these things without having to go to a whole lot of effort to get that information.
Another question there. It looks like we got one from Scott too coming in. So Scott, I'll stall for your question here. How can we, outside that Excel spreadsheet to export, what are some other options that we can export this information? Let's say share it with our sales staff.
Well, over here, you could certainly run reports, or
Mm-hmm.
we have the whole report inventory available. So if you wanted to go in and run something in particular, let me see, I'll just look at this one. You could certainly run this. Hopefully this will run. I'll try this one.
And these are all essentially PDFs, right?
Yes. And well, once they come up, and of course, nothing live would be great if something didn't
that
go
works.
the way we want.
So yeah, we can just so essentially you can go to reports. We can export here with
Yes.
PDFs, and we can just grab it, run it, and once we have the PDF, we can go and expand there too. So
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you can download it. You can print it from here, whatever you need.
absolutely. Scott, I'm waiting for your question. Take your time, but I will definitely answer that question whenever you post it on there too. So let's go back to we were talking about. I think was it forecast? Was that where we were, Dawn?
Well, I was in
Or
the
the dashboard?
dashboard, yeah, with the
Okay.
cool, really colorful stuff going on. But also, if I am, let's say, a sales manager, and I am going to have some one-on-ones today, and I need to take a look and see who's doing what, the forecaster is a really great tool to jump in and see where you are. So I'm looking at May. I can see that here's the budgets for May for my stations. I can see, actually, we're doing really well this month. Here's the totals of everything that's booked for all users. Here's the variance, and this is where I happen to be. Now, if I want to go in and let's say choose a particular sales rep, I'm going to have a one-on-one later today with Jennifer. I can look in here and take a quick look at what she's got and see that she's doing really, really well for the month. Maybe I want to look at the rest of her year. And I can see that she might be doing well for May, but she's not doing really good for the rest of the year. But this also lets you see what she's got going on currently, which is down here is forecasted. And forecasted is going to include anything that's maybe sitting in proposals that hasn't been approved yet. And this accepted number is what's actually in and running and is a live contract. Also lets you see maybe what they did last year. So as of May last year, this is what she had done for this time period. You can see she's tracking pretty well, but she had this amount in last year for these clients, and this is what she has in this year with these particular clients. You can also look and see this was their last call. So it's a really good way to see if your salespeople are actually calling on your clients, when they've done so, what they're doing when they talk to those, and so forth. It's just a really good way to track that. And again, it's remote, so you can access this at any time, anywhere, and it's just a really easy way to get that information. You can see here, this is the call. She made a collections call. So it's
for my own curiosity, what's the half star next to Sky Zone?
This means that it's a prospect client, which a prospect client is in Aquira. You have the ability to allow sales reps, if you want to enter clients themselves. We have lead, prospect, and full-on clients. So let's say your sales rep is driving down the street and they see a new business and they go, wow, I need to call on them. They can put that client in and make them a lead, which means there's not a lot of activity that's going to happen, but I've claimed that one. The prospect is the next level that says, I've claimed them. I'm going to go call on them with maybe they'll be a potential client. And then if it goes through, they would be a full-on client and they would be live.
So again, if you're talking about that kind of that sales manager getting a snapshot of their day, planning on what they're looking at, that's a great little kind of tool there too, to kind of go and quickly say, ooh, this is my, let's say I'm big on prospecting, that can be a couple things you can look at, catch your eye.
Yes, it's a really great way to manage your salespeople. If you're a sales manager and if you're a sales rep, it's just a really good way to keep track with where you are in regards to your month.
Nice. So we're going to try to keep this to probably a couple more minutes here, Dawn. So I always like asking this question. What's something that you, as a traffic director, what's something that you can see here that you like to showcase, or you find yourself utilizing a lot in Aquira2GO?
Outside of these features here, I'll say in proposals.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when you're working in a traffic system, and you have a contract in for, I don't know, let's say it's a really long contract, an annual 52 weeks. You may have an advertiser that's put in a contract, and they're inevitably going to call at some point and say, I know my contract's long, but I need to change a week of the schedule. I just want to not run for a particular week. A lot of times you have to go in, you have to maybe split the contract or create a new line and so forth. And sometimes that can get a little tricky. But for instance, in here, if you're a sales rep, I like to use this feature. You can go into the actual contract. And let's say this client has called, I didn't mean to do that one, and said, hey, I don't want to run the second week of my contract. You can just click in here on this contract and edit it. And I'm going to go to my spots. And here's the spot line. And you'll see it's in April through July. So I can just go in here instead of having to split that contract or go through, jump through a lot of hoops. I can see he's booked 6A to 7P. Here's the weeks. So here's the first week of his schedule. I need to just move forward and get down to the week that he's called about. Let's say he said, I don't want to run this first week in June. I can just simply go into that particular week and take those spots out. And it just changes that 1 week. You'll see that the remainder of the weeks are intact. Maybe he said, move those spots to the week of the 15th. You could then go in and change this in some fashion and update that week. But again, it keeps all the other weeks in play. It's just really, really easy to make a change. Like I said, a lot of times you have to jump through quite a few hoops. Mm-hmm. Aquira just says, hey, just go right here to that week and you're done. So like that.
Fantastic. All right. Well, Dawn, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it. I know we can go on for hours talking about Aquira and Aquira2GO. So just to recap, Nate, I'm here with Dawn Newberry. She's our Aquira Traffic Sales Engineer, talking about remote workflows using Aquira2GO. So in this video, we kind of covered essentially customizing your dashboard, talking about planning your day and forecasting, seeing where you and your sales staff is in regards to budgets and forecasting, as well as some cool features like how to break up a very long-term contract and just kind of skip a week or two there and here and there. Mateo, thank you for the question. I will reach out to you via direct message regarding that, as well as Scott as well. You'll be hearing from us too. Thanks for chiming in on our Facebook Live. And we're doing it every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. All these are Eastern times. And just to review once again, if you go to rcsworks.com, there's a blog section on the top right. You can see all of our past videos, as well as go to our Facebook page, RCS Sound Software, and then go to the videos link. You can see there's a whole slew of videos there as well. If you're watching this video after we've been live, don't worry about it. We're always checking our direct messages. You can always email us live, LIVE, at rcsworks.com, or email us one directly, and we'll be happy to help you any way we can. So next week, we'll probably cover some more Zeta stuff, and again, try to help you in this time of remote workflows. So if you do have a certain situation, they can be as complex or as simple. We're here to help out. So if you find yourself in Zeta and you can't seem to do something, or you don't know how, or again, let's say you're having an issue just with your staff and you're curious if we have a resolution. I'm a big proponent of, how do you know how to fix something if no one told you it exists? Right? Right, Dawn?
No, yeah, absolutely.
So we are here to help. Dawn is here to help as well. So if you have questions like Mateo does with Aquira2GO, we will direct message you and go from there. So I think we're calling it a day for today, right, Dawn?
I'm good. I hope everybody stays healthy and safe.
Yes, definitely. So thank you so much, Dawn, for time. We really appreciate it. Again, we're here every Thursday. We'll see you next Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time at our RCS page. Be safe. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.